In our last episode, we installed the frame to our decked drawer system. In this episode, we put some hardware together, install the drawers, add some accessories, and load it up to complete the install. All we have left to do is anchor the main support into the truck, put the drawers together, and install them. The bags are labeled super well, and there are different hooks for different parts of the truck. This is J3. We use this on the tailgate end. With the J-hooks finger tight on here, we're ready to center this and then tighten it all down. Now, because the world isn't perfect, there might be more of a gap on one side than the other. So we want to center it right here in between these two ribs. And this little split right here is right in the center. So in the back, we want that little split to line right up with the center rib there. Now I just need to tighten these all down evenly so I don't accidentally suck it to one side and pull it off center. Now on the surface, this just looks like a big hunk of plastic you put in your bed, and you think, how could that work for drawers? How could that handle 2,000 pounds on top of it? But it's not made out of just plastic. They've used plastic in the areas that make sense, like where you need waterproofing and lightweight and an area that's easy to slide, but they've reinforced it with steel on the C channels, and you can see all the steel bracing in there. And they've done a great job cutting out weight where they can, but putting the strength where they need it. Because this has steel beams through it, you can also tie in tie-down points onto this, and they have additional attachments you can use that for. I'm not going to do that right now, but maybe one day I will. J-hooks are all tightened down. This is not going anywhere. I can't budge it. And a lot of people over-tighten them, which makes them kind of crown. You don't want to do that. So I don't have them in there super tight, but this isn't budging. That's a good spot to be. Now we're bolting the corner brackets into the drawer. These support the rollers and the cross brace to make this a little bit more rigid of a structure. Now I put a brace in each of the back of the drawers to keep it stiff and sturdy. Now we're ready to put the wheels onto the back of the drawer. That'll work great for a drawer. Now we've reached the most complex part of the day, which is installing this handle. Now for some reason, this handle was already installed. I don't know why they install one and not the other. I'm sure there's a good reason. Maybe it saves them time and allows them to get price down. Maybe it's so we can use it as a reference to make sure we installed this one correctly. But in the instructions, I love this, it says, we're not going to try and explain it in words. Go to our website and watch it on YouTube, and that'll show you how to do it. And I appreciate companies that get that videos are often a better way to explain something than just written word.
Looking from the outside of the drawer, the spring arm must be pointing inwards.
Nice. That wasn't that hard. I just had to keep pulling until it clicked in. Awesome. There we go. All right, it's time to put a drawer in. I'm excited about this. This is actually pretty tricky to get these lined up without them cross-threading. So even with that block under there, this is still a millimeter too low, and I cannot get it in there. I can't even get the bolt in, it's so tight. Like, that's the problem, is the bolt head is hitting this. Maybe that'll do it. Sliding it to the right like that. Oh, I think that might be the trick. Now, we shift it that way to make room for the bolt. Yep, that's the secret. Alright, if you're doing these, you raise that up and then shift the whole drawer aside so the bolt can get in there. There's just not enough clearance from the factory on those. That took way longer and way more work than it should have. If I had known what I know now, I would have known that trick to push it over in its track to make room, but the clearance bump in there just wasn't big enough. Alright, onward and upward. Now I'm going to install the weather stripping to keep it watertight. This side faces driver, not tailgate. Very straightforward. Well, with that on, now the drawer doesn't shut. That's interesting. That's frustrating. Yeah, see, that's hitting. There's no way that latch is closed in there. Alright, time to get them on the phone and call them. I just called DECT. Here's what they told me to do. Step 1, make sure the weather stripping's pushed all the way down. It is, you can see from the side. Step 2 is to make sure they're not too wide and trim them down. This one's too wide, but this one is not. Step 3 is to put some weight in the drawers, and that should help them settle down. And then step 4, if that still doesn't shut, is to untighten all the J-hooks because it may be crowned in the middle a little bit. So I think I'm going to have to do all 4 steps of those. I'm going to completely loosen all the J-hooks and see if that does it. Okay, the J-hooks are completely loose. There's no way. You gotta see this. Look at this. Look at the clearance here. That is just not gonna go in. I'm gonna wreck it. If I take this off, look how close it is. I mean, that is so close. Even then, man, maybe I just need to slam them. Look how much that lifts. I hate that. And this weather stripping's not going to last long. Watch right here. Do not like that. Load it up, it's easier. I never drink bottled beverages that need a bottle opener, but we might as well finish the install with this. Alright, I think I'm going to hold off on installing this top plate, mainly because I don't need it and I don't want to drill holes into this upper part. Now, it might be a good idea to do it to keep this from flexing. I don't think it serves a structural piece, but you never know. If it was all black, I might do it, but I don't like the look of it. Okay, these are the ammo can lids. They're not watertight, but you can still keep things in there. With these deck systems, you lose access to everything along the wheel wells, except for what's in the ammo cans. To me, it's worth it because I'd much rather have the drawer system and have all of this accessible, but you do lose a little bit of that. Now we're going to take a look at some of the accessories I bought for this drawer system. Alright, this is what they call the D-box. We're going to have to assemble that. Got some dividers for the drawers, that'll be handy. These D-boxes come disassembled so that they can ship better, so we have to assemble them. So I'm going to put these together real quick. All right. Now these boxes can be carried this way or this way, and they fit in the drawers. They fit this way. Now, one bummer is you can't open these inside the system. It's too bad the hinge isn't right here, so I could open it without. Now I'm gonna have to pull my stuff out every time I access it. But for stuff I'm gonna pull out, and I'll need these latches closed for that. Man, that just makes it 2 more steps. That's a little bit of a bummer, but it'll be nice to have. I'll have to pull it out to use it. So these kind of catch, these are meant to catch inside the grooves of the drawer so they don't slide around. Just another way to stay organized. I want to show you these dividers. When you're not using these, or even if you are, it'd be nice to have dividers to keep your stuff from sliding into each other. Now, it's not rocket science what dividers do. You can figure that out, but I like that it's modular like that. I can put my boxes in if I want or not. It's gonna take me a little while to organize this, figure out how to put all my stuff in there best, but let's load it up and see what I can fit inside these drawers. Check it out, they were right. Now that there's some weight in here, shuts a lot better. I think this gasket's gonna get worked in too a little more to where it starts flexing around that better. It'll take some organizing, but I got options here. Alright, the deck is all installed. Check it out. Got it full of gear, and what you can't see is there's another 2 feet under there as well, so it goes all the way to the back. And now that these are loaded up with weight, they shut real easily. Still, it's got some working in to do because it's brand new, but man, I'm happy with it. I've also got the ammo cans. I can store things in here that I don't mind getting wet. And the really cool part is when I lock my tailgate, no one can access anything in there. I like that it's out of sight, out of mind. You can still put 2,000 pounds on top of it. The drawers can hold several hundred pounds of tools and gear, and it's a great way for me to stay organized. So when I need to work on the bikes, for example, pull this out, access my D-box. These are a little bigger than I would like because it's easy to get them heavy, but there I've got all my bike tools ready to go. It's great being organized like this because on the road living full-time, this is my garage. That's all I get. So being organized and having it easy to access is super important to me. And stay tuned for an upcoming video where I show you all the tools that I bring on the road and what's important to me and what I use and what I haven't used and how that's always evolving. Anyway, I'm excited to have this deck system in here. I'll keep you posted on how I like it over time, and but for now I'm excited to have a place to store all my stuff, and if it rains it doesn't matter, all that stuff staying dry. That gives me a lot of peace of mind.